Nice to take these off every once in a while when we're not under too much danger.
Oh, we're under a lot of danger, all right, from these guys. Tell me if you can think of a more important political performance that has to take place on the world stage than the relationship between a president of the United States and a chairman of the Federal Reserve. And if you doubt how important it is, before we get into this exchange between Trump and Jerome Powell, I want to show you what Alan Greenspan said, or refresh the memories of some on what he said about the importance. What is the importance and what should the role be between a Federal Reserve chairman and a president of the United States?
What is the proper relationship? What should be the proper relationship between a chairman of the Fed and a president of the United States?
Well, first of all, the Federal Reserve is an independent agency, and that means basically that there is no other agency of government which can overrule actions that we take. So long as that is in place and there is no evidence that the administration or the Congress or anybody else is requesting that we do things other than what we think is the appropriate thing, then what the relationships are don't frankly matter.
Okay, so did you get that? What should the relationship be between the president of the United States and a chairman of the Federal Reserve? Doesn't really matter. We're in control. We have the say. We're in the driver's seat, they're in the back seat. So the relationships don't matter because I'm the one steering this bus. Now, based on that, remember that, because that is the relationship between a Federal Reserve chairman and the president of the United States. The Federal Reserve chairman is the guy who's in charge. He's in control. And this harkens back to Amschel Rothschild's statement when he said, "Give me control over a nation's money, and I don't give a damn who makes its laws. I don't care if you're a congressman, a senator, a governor. I don't care if you're the president of the United States. I'm the chairman of the Federal Reserve. I own all the chips. I own all the pieces on the monopoly board, and you serve me." That's how the relationship goes. So with that in mind, check out this exchange between Donald Trump and the current Fed chair, Jerome Powell, about the renovation project going on the Federal Reserve building in Washington, D.C. Keep in mind who's in control here. The guy who's in control is this guy on the right. The guy who acts like he's in control is the guy here on the left.
Well, thank you very much. We're looking at the construction, and we're with the chairman, as you know. Chairman, come on over. And we're just taking a look at what's happening. You know, it's a tough construction job. They're building basements where they didn't exist or expanding them, and a lot of very expensive work. There's no question about it. And Tim has been with me for a long time, and you're in charge of the committee.
Indeed. One of the reasons why I wanted to see it was the overruns of the expenses, wanted to figure out why.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah,
We're not talking about $1,000. We're not talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about 2.7 to 3.1 billion dollars for the renovation of a couple of buildings in Washington, D.C. that happen to be owned by the Federal Reserve.
it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1.
By the way, this is all a photo op. This was all staged. It was all set up. He pulls a script out of his pocket. Jerome Powell is going to play along. They're going to act like they're at odds with one another.
This came from us.
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added.
That's our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third building,
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall.
So here's Jerome Powell fact-checking Donald Trump in real time, and Donald Trump not backing off and going, "Oh, that building is 5 years ago. Okay, I thought you guys were working on that right now."
Work.
But it's
So,
not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them. We're ready for them, but we have a little bit of a reserve that we may use, but no, we don't. We expect to be finished in 2027. We're well along, as you can see.
Nice to take these off every once in a while when we're not.
This is all an act. Now, you might be asking yourself, 2.5, 2.7, $3.1 billion for what? And according to my research, it's for aging infrastructure. Apparently, they have obsolete systems, including plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and fire suppression. Some of the buildings contain hazardous materials like asbestos and lead, and they require replacement. But $2.5 billion, $3.1 billion, they're saying there's safety and accessibility upgrades, historic preservations. They're saying that it includes costly domestic white Georgia marble to match original facades as mandated by the U.S. Commission of Fine Arts. And it just goes on. And the fact that it was originally $1.9 billion approved by Congress in 2017, now it's 2.1 or 2.5 to 2.7 billion dollars because of inflation. And that's the inflation that they say doesn't exist. As a matter of fact, we're going to get to that in a second, but I want to show you that Trump apparently forgot that he's the one that appointed Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell to his current position, blamed it on Biden appointing him and then extending that appointment. And keep in mind, the Federal Reserve Chairman is the one in control, but they make it look like the president is in control because they make it look like he's the one that appointed the Federal Reserve Chairman when it's the exact opposite. This is all a stage show, but check this out.
As president, there are a few decisions more important than nominating leaders of integrity and good judgment to hold trusted positions in public office. And few of those trusted positions are more important than the chairman of the Federal Reserve. Accordingly, it is my pleasure and my honor to announce my nomination of Jerome Powell to be the next chairman of the Federal Reserve. Congratulations, Jay. I think he does a terrible job. He's costing us a lot of money. He's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him. But they did. He's not doing the right job. We should be saving $1 trillion a year in interest. You know, when he talks about cost, we should be saving. Think of it, $1 trillion a year. Add that with the tariffs and everything else. But he just doesn't want. He's a knucklehead.
Says the knucklehead who said, I'm surprised Biden put him in when he's the one that put him in. Now, here's Donald Trump responding to Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell not lowering the interest rate and the fact that, hey, inflation's in check. If inflation is in check, then why did the renovation in Washington, D.C., for one example, go from an approved $1.9 billion to 2.5 to now 2.7, and you're saying Trump is saying it's 3.1 billion.
Likewise, so we have a lot of money coming in, and we have no inflation, and we're very strong, and we should be lowering the rates. You know,
are you experiencing no inflation? Every time we take a look at our grocery bill, we virtually have to fend off a heart attack. It's ridiculous how expensive food is. It's ridiculous how expensive utilities have gotten. Gas ain't that cheap either. So what's he talking about with no inflation? Are you experiencing no inflation in your life?
Each point that...
And by the way, inflation is the hidden tax, and who's benefiting? It's a losing... Inflation, when things go up and you have to spend more money, you have to work harder to make more money, to spend a whole lot more money than you did last year for the same amount of products, and you're even spending more money on less products. There's another side to that losing trade. We're losing and somebody else is gaining. Inflation is a wealth transfer.
This gentleman keeps up, costs us $365 billion a year. Think of that. 1 point, $365 billion. If you bring it down a point, we save 365. We should be the lowest interest rate.
Even if we saved $365 billion per point, that the Federal Reserve drops the interest rates, I'm not going to see that money. You're not going to see that money. We're not going to benefit from that money.
And we're not. We're 38, number 38, because of the Fed. It's all because of the Fed. He's done a bad job. Now, he's got a meeting today, but I call him too late. You know, he's always too late. Even if he does it today, probably won't. I hear they're going to do it in September, not today. For what reason? Nobody knows. But Europe, as you know, cut their rates 11 times in the last short period of time. But the good news is we're doing better than anybody anywhere in the world. Nobody's doing anything even close to us.
Now, here's Donald Trump being questioned about, okay, but if the Fed lowers the interest rates, a lot of people are worried that that'll cause inflation to rise and then basically Americans will be decimated. What's your response to that?
You said that higher interest rates are making it harder for veterans to refinance. There's a stronger than expected GDP report this morning. What do you say to analysts who worry that lowering interest rates would actually lead to inflation?
Well, if that happens, then we just raise them. What you do is you lower them, and let's see if there's inflation. Right now, there's no inflation. Everybody.
It's not going to bother me. Just lower the interest rates and see if it destroys a whole bunch of Americans. And if it does, then we'll just raise them again. Because yeah, I'm insulated. I don't know about, are you guys insulated? All my friends are insulated. We've made sure that they were.
I thought there would be. All we have is billions of dollars of cash pouring into our country from other countries that took advantage of us for many, many years. You know, they were taken advantage of. We were like the stupid people that didn't know what they were doing. They took advantage of us. Other countries.
They took advantage of us. Those other countries, those bad countries took advantage of us. The U.S. government doesn't take advantage of its own people.
Countries, friend and foe. And by the way, the friend was oftentimes much worse than the foe when it comes to trade. So if that happens, what you do is you raise your rates and you do what you have to do to stop inflation. But we're keeping the rates high, and it's hurting people from buying houses, and we don't want that. If for any reason that happened in a year or two, if there's some...
Do you know how many Americans are in a financial situation where they can actually buy a house, even if the rates were lowered 3 points? Let's say you took 3 points off the rate. Do you know anybody who's got the money to put a down payment on a house?
Some signs of inflation coming back. Right now, there's not. We have a great thing going. I think we're going to have the richest economy you've ever seen. We have money coming in that we've never even thought about.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players, including the political and economic parasites. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, the links are in the description. Or you can grab a shirt like this one right here. Ban stupidity, not guns. I will see you guys in the next video.